1.
Okay, way number 3 in order to pass the chemistry regents is the idea that matter cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change forms. So the way this is illustrated in a chemical reaction is that you'll see conservation of mass, charge, and energy. What that basically means is everything on the left side of the arrow equals everything on the right side of the arrow in terms of mass, charge, and energy. So let's try some problems. So looking at the definition of conservation of matter, what's the most likely answer? I'll give you a chance to think about this before answering. Okay, we see that the answer is B because in every chemical reaction, mass, energy, and charge is always conserved. So the correct answer has to be B. Let's try another one. Which equation shows conservation of atoms? So for this problem, you want to be thinking about which one shows equal amounts of atoms on the left side of the arrow and on the right side of the arrow. For question A, how many hydrogens are on the left? There's 2. How many hydrogens on the right? Also 2. How many oxygens? 2. How many on the right? 1. So we can see that there's a disparity between the net level of oxygens on the left and right side, so it can't be A. Let's look at B. 2 hydrogens on the left, 4 hydrogens on the right. 2 from this compound and 2 from the coefficient, so a total of 4. So it can't be B. Let's look at C. 2 hydrogens here with a coefficient of 2 means that there are 4 hydrogens here and 4 hydrogens on the right side. So the hydrogens are equal. On the left side, there are 2. On the right side, there are also 2. 1 from this compound, 2 from the coefficient. So we can see that we have an equal number of hydrogens and oxygens on the left and right side. So the correct answer has to be C. To verify that it's not D, there's 4 hydrogens here, 4 hydrogens here, 4 oxygens here, and 2 oxygens here. So 4 and 2 are not equal, therefore it can't be D. Let's try the next one. So given the balanced equation representing a reaction, H plus aqueous plus OH minus aqueous produces H2O liquid plus 55.8 kilojoules. Kilojoules just means energy. In this reaction, there is conservation of. Pause the video and think about what the correct answer is. Okay, it has to be D because remember, this idea that energy, charge, and mass is always conserved. So we'll always see equal masses illustrated by the same number of atoms on both sides, as well as equal charges. Notice that there's 2 hydrogens here on the left, 2 hydrogens here, 1 oxygen here on the left, 1 oxygen here on the right. When we sum the charges on both sides, +1 and a -1 will give you 0. And note that the charge on this compound is also 0, so the charges are equal. Therefore, mass, energy, and charge is being conserved in this reaction. Let's try another one. Which equation shows conservation of both mass and charge? So again, for this one, you want to make sure that the number of atoms are equal on both sides of the arrow, as well as the sum of the charges on both sides. So pause the video and think about what the correct answer is. Okay, we see that the answer has to be D. Why? Because the number of nickels on both sides is the same. The number of PBs is the same on both sides. But when we add up the charges, sum of 0 and +2 is 2. And the sum of this, nickel, +2, and 0 gives you 2. So the charge on the left equals the charge on the right. Why is it not A? 2 chlorines here, 1 chlorine here, so it can't be A because the number of chlorines aren't equal. Why is it not B? Well, notice the charges. Here we have a positive 2 here, and these two will give you a positive 2. So those are equal. But the number of, damn it, to record. Damn it.